Is the notification squad still a thing? I don't know. It's been a minute since I've done this whole YouTuber thing. I don't know how they do it these days. So, seeing your responses to the first video that I uploaded on this channel in literally 5 years was wonderful. Mind-blowing, really. 1,500 comments. I'm still soaking in the fact that I have my channel back and I can record videos and upload videos to it. And I am a YouTuber again. And I was going through your comments like these. Bring back the whiteboard. I remember the small whiteboard. Small. I don't know, man. Some people would say it's a pretty average whiteboard. So here it is. One of them at least. I got a bunch. And I'm going to answer some topics that were brought up in those comments. Topics like the decensorship or uncensorship that's going on. It's making some people question what's happening with big tech. Why are they allowing people back onto their platforms? What's gone on with lawsuits? Is there any class action lawsuits? I've got some things to share in regards to that, and I'll address some of your worries or concerns or questions regarding lawsuits and some of the censorship that's going on. Basically, I think big tech is just being forced to submit, and I'll share with you why. And I've also gotten a lot of questions about what I've been up to and my beliefs. So I'll share with you kind of what I've done over the past 5 years. Some pretty cool stuff, some new projects, things I'm still working on that I want to share with you to go check out, and my beliefs. Some different, some not, right? I mean, if your beliefs aren't changing when you're acquiring new evidence or realizing some of the evidence you believed was just trash misinformation, your beliefs should be changing throughout your life, at least. And if they're not, I think something might be wrong with you. So yes, some of my beliefs have changed, and I've been up to some cool stuff. Because, you know, going through the comments, I realized, oh my gosh, there's like thousands of people here that haven't heard from me in 5 years. So if that's you, hi, good to see you again. Long time, no meet. And yeah, insane. Because when we all got censored, our channels just went up into the ether, and then tons of people out there couldn't find who they were following again. So, I'm sure seeing a notification on your phone for destroying the illusion probably like shocked some of you guys. So yeah, I'll kind of update you on my work and my life and some stuff that's gone on and what I think now. And then we'll talk about the censorship. So let's begin. So in terms of the decensorship, uncensorship, whatever you want to call it that big tech's doing, and lawsuits. A lot of comments on lawsuits. So back in 2020 was when we were banned. At least the cool kids were banned in 2020. All the rest of people got banned in 2021 and 2022. Just kidding. No, it's funny though, because in YouTube's recent admittance that they censored, or they were pressured to censor by the Biden administration, insinuating no censorship was taking place until Biden was inaugurated in January 2021. It's like bullshit, you know? The worst of YouTube censorship was October 2020 and throughout 2020. Height of COVID, right before the election, day the Hunter Biden laptop dropped, October 15, 2020, which is exactly 5 years ago from today. Google's statement made me laugh. So 2020, ton of us got banned. October primarily. I lost almost everything in a week. 50,000 followers on Instagram, actually like 100,000 across a couple pages. 100,000 on Facebook, 300,000 on YouTube. I lost PayPal, Patreon, freaking Linktree, and I can't even remember all the platforms I lost, but I do know it was a combined 800,000 subscribers in a week across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It was insane. So a ton of us got banned. A bunch of you asking about lawsuits. We tried. I think 15 of us YouTubers that were all banned October 15th, 2020, we banded together, found a lawyer who wanted to represent us, and we tried suing Google in whatever district of California the Bay Area is in, Northern District. But unfortunately, big tech friendly judges, mainly liberal judges, Bay Area, wasn't much we could do, and they ended up tossing out the lawsuit. The other people that were on that lawsuit, X22 was on it. a variety of people, SGT report. So there was 15 of us combined, I think 4.5 million subs between all of us. So a bunch of big channels, but that lawsuit didn't go anywhere. So that didn't work. And then in July 2021, I also saw some comments about class action. Trump filed a class action lawsuit against Google, Twitter, and Facebook. I think it was July, it might have been August. But summertime 2021, Trump filed a class action. And the legal institute, the legal organization that was representing Trump for it was AFPI, the America First Policy Institute. And they had a big campaign. They created a website that was takeonbigtech.com. They were soliciting people to send them their stories because class action, right? So I did. I actually sent AFPI a short 2-minute video about my story and all the accounts I had banned and how many followers I lost. And they posted it. It's pretty cool to see. They posted my video to their Facebook and Twitter pages. So there was a lot of, I think Trump even held a press conference. Maybe at Mar-a-Lago, or I think it was Bedminster. Trump held a press conference about this class action lawsuit at Bedminster with representatives from AFPI. So it was a big thing. You might remember that. But nothing really, or I didn't see anything happen from this lawsuit after, I think the latest news I saw was October 2021, because they had the lawsuit moved to or filed in the Southern District of Florida, right? Friendlier judges where Trump lives. So they filed it or moved it to the Southern District of Florida, October 21. That was the last news I heard, anything of it. And I was sitting there for like months, few years even. I would think about it every month or two, every so often. What the heck's going on with Trump's class action? What the heck's going on with Trump's class action? Because I have a vested interest in it, right? And I sent them a video. And anyway, that brings us to this year. So this is where some of your questions and thoughts might be answered regarding why is big tech uncensoring people? Because I think they're being forced to. They're being put into submission. That brings us to, let me write the timeline here. All right, here's our timeline. One comment I saw was, Jordan, why are you on YouTube again? You're not cashing Israeli checks, are you? Sorry, guys. I'm not making $7,000 per post. If I was, this whiteboard would be a lot bigger. It'd be like gold-plated or something. So here's our timeline. Brings us to January 2025. This is when we started hearing news about Trump's big tech lawsuits. The first came with Zuckerberg. In January 2025, Trump settled with Facebook. I think this one was about 25 million. And then around that time was when Mark Zuckerberg basically did like a public oops, sorry for the censorship apology and started reducing censorship. I think Facebook stated they were not going to fact check posts anymore. And I actually noticed, I started another Instagram account. I don't know how many I've had at this point, but this one's been sticking. I haven't had any censorship on Instagram since I started my latest one 9 months ago or so, and I have noticed improvement, at least on Instagram. I don't do Facebook anymore. By the way, there's a fake Jordan on Facebook, okay? I'm not on Facebook. That's the only platform I never went back to after all the censorship, so beware. Want to make that known for my YouTube friends out there. A lot of fake Jordans on Facebook. They're crypto scammers. They're impersonation crypto scammer accounts. Anyway, so Trump settled January 2025 with Meta, i.e. Facebook, and then they stopped censoring. February 2025 is when Trump settled with Twitter. This one was for, I believe, like $10 or $15 million. But remember, 2023 was when Elon bought Twitter, right? 2 years ago. Elon bought Twitter, opened it up. I was able to get my Twitter account back, so thanks, Elon. So I got my Twitter back, got my YouTube back. I don't think I'll ever get Facebook or Instagram back because those URLs change. Some people have my account names on Instagram now. So I'll never get those ones back, but got YouTube and Twitter back. So Zuck caved. Trump settled with Meta. Twitter was bought by Elon, and Twitter ended up settling with Trump. Then September 2025, Google settled with Trump. This one was for about 25 as well, 25 mil. And then Google said, oops, sorry, we censored because of Biden, and we'll bring some accounts back. Okay. So this year, all these tech platforms, and really when you think about it, 25 million for all their censorship. Facebook's and only 20, like these are slaps on the wrist, really, with how much lost revenue creators have lost revenue, lost growth, the like mental emotional strain from seeing their businesses and their podcasts just nuked into orbit. These are slaps on the wrist. And violating First Amendment, censoring a president as well, sitting president, I mean, slaps on the wrist. So what I think is that Trump basically told these tech companies, hey, I could really fuck you if I wanted to, but here's what we're gonna do. We'll make a public settlement, you'll make a public apology post, you'll stop censoring so much and let some people back on. That's what I think part of this deal was. And you know, that's why I'm not too paranoid about it. I think they're being forced to. Because if you see YouTube, I mean, YouTube didn't bring this channel back with monetization. And there's still some problems with YouTube. YouTube claimed it would stop fact checking, I think, but you still see the little Wikipedia card under their videos sometimes. So they're still fighting, you know. They're still fighting a little bit, Facebook as well. But they're being put into submission here. So, you know, I've seen some of the paranoid comments. They're letting us back on YouTube so they can gather a bunch of data on us. Like, you think they can't gather data on us by other means? Or they're putting us back on YouTube to track us. Like, you don't think they can track us with other means? Like, no. I'm not paranoid about it. I understand some of the people's paranoia out there about channels getting let back on. I mean, if you're living on this planet without at least a little bit of paranoia, you don't know what the hell's going on, okay? A little bit of paranoia is understandable. Just don't have it be too much. There's a balance there. So, class action, apparently these are the results of Trump's class action. And one last thing I want to say on this subject is that with some of their statements, though, and this could be where Trump is playing some chess or helping us out in that forcing Google to admit they violated the First Amendment, effectively censored on behalf of government powers. By forcing Google to admit that publicly, that sets a precedent, doesn't it? So maybe our lawsuits that failed 4 or 5 years ago, I don't know, maybe we can try them again in some capacity and have more success this time. We'll see. But that could be an alley-oop Trump threw to us by forcing them to admit such things. And now it's up to us to pick up that ball and see what we can do on our own. I don't know. But hey, we got our accounts back. That's the good news. At least on Twitter and YouTube. So that's a little bit of the backstory behind the lawsuits, Trump's lawsuit, and what I think is going on. Big tech being put into submission. Now let's get to what I've been up to the past few years. I got some stories to share. So let me run you through like a year by year with some of the highlights, I guess you could say. So in 2021, that was rough, man. After Biden won the election, was inaugurated. Man, a bunch of us didn't know what the hell to think or do. I was actually thinking about going to DC for January 6th. I was going to road trip with a couple old friends of mine, but I didn't, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. Granted, I wouldn't have been up front in the hubbub anyway. I'm the kind of person where I would have sat back and watched, so I would have been safe, and I'm smart enough to know when to get the heck out of there. And I would have gotten the heck out of there and spotted the Fed boys a mile away, but I didn't go. But I migrated to all the alternative tech platforms. So the first one that a bunch of us went to was Telegram, and I worked with old colleagues of mine in starting a group page called We the Media, which blew up. It got couple 100,000 subscribers on Telegram. And then I had my own personal channel, started the Rumble channel, so had to migrate to everything that wasn't big tech. Also, as soon as Trump started Truth Social, I signed up the very first day. I've got like 50, 60,000 on there now, followers. So a bunch of tech migration went on in 2021. Still dealt with censorship throughout the first few months of 2021 as well. Still getting censored off platforms. I went to a few Patriot conferences. So what I did kind of shifted, right? When I had this YouTube channel back in the day, 2018, 19, 20, I was doing a lot of UFO New Agey conferences. And then in 2021, I started kind of shifting a little bit, getting more political, and I went to a couple Patriot conferences. What was it called? The Patriot Double Down. Those turned out to be a shit show. The dude that was running those is like, turned out to be an idiot. Invited a bunch of clickbaiters to his conferences. And anyway, long story. So I did a couple of those. In 2022, I started trying a few new projects. I started a podcast called Conspiracy Analytica. I got about 25 episodes in. You can find them on Rumble. And I still have it. It's still there. It's just kind of frozen on layaway. Maybe I'll bring it back eventually. But that was fun. And then I started these videos called Clickbait of the Week. Because you know what happened is that, I guess we can tie some of my changing beliefs into all this. But 2020 and 2021 was a couple of big years for my, I guess, discernment growth, in that I started realizing some of the people I used to work with were full of shit. I saw one comment, said, used to watch you a lot until you got wrapped up in Corey Good. Don't worry, I ran as far away from that fucker as I could. That piece of shit. And a lot of the UFO stuff, I'm still very interested in the topic of UFOs and suppressed energy technologies, but what I'm seeing happen, what I think now, is that we have the mainstream media talking about UFOs, and they're just rolling out a bunch of gatekeepers. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have just the wackiest shit said on social media. People thinking they're secret space program whistleblowers getting memories again and channeling the Galactic Federation of the Ashtar, whatever the hell. I think both those sides are full of a bunch of shit. So I don't talk about UFOs as much anymore. Maybe that I have YouTube back now, I will. It's just I'm sick of almost all the UFO talk out there. So there's that. And in 2022, I started a podcast or a weekly show on my Rumble channel called Clickbait of the Week, where I would not only expose a bunch of just the clickbait trash that was just in the general alternative media, conspiracy media world. So not just about UFOs, but the Q movement. Oh my gosh, what's happened to the Q movement over the past 4 years, 5 years? It's getting infiltrated with a bunch of just clickbait scammers. And especially in 2021, I saw the likes of Charles Ward and Michael Jaco and Bill Godlewski and just absolute clowns like this come out of the woodwork. If you don't know who I'm talking about, good. Please don't care about what I'm saying. But if you do know of any of these names, Scott McKay and, I could list like 24 of them. SG and on. This like network of clowns started coming out and talking about Q, but inserting a bunch of freaking trash like Flat Earth and Nazara and oh my God, JFK Jr. is alive and military tribunals are going on and the med beds are coming out. A bunch of crap like that. All those fake and gay narratives. So I started a Clickbait of the Week weekly show. This one was fun to do. And I did it for probably a year. The frequency became less. It became like a Clickbait of the Month just because there was so much crap. And it would take me so long to research it all and throw it all together. In fact, I might bring those videos back here on YouTube now. That would be fun to do. I might do that. So Clickbait of the Week was cool. Might start them up again. Clickbait of the every 2 weeks or something. I just don't have the time to research all the clickbait trash in alternative media conspiracy land these days, but that was a fun show. In 2022, I went to Mar-a-Lago on my birthday. That was a hell of an experience. Funny story about that. So I have a buddy who's a member at Mar-a-Lago, and for like 6 months, he was telling me, Jordan, on your birthday, I'm going to take you to Mar-a-Lago. And my birthday's in in November. So he's like, on your birthday, I'm going to take you to Mar-a-Lago. Cool. And then, like a month before, Trump says, I'm going to make an announcement at Mar-a-Lago on this day that just happened to be my birthday, that just happened to be the day that we'd been planning for months, that I was going to go fly down to Florida and my buddy was going to take me to Mar-a-Lago. So perfect timing. I was able to watch Trump's presidential campaign announcement in 2022 on my birthday at Mar-a-Lago. That was crazy. And I didn't go meet Trump because I didn't want to be that guy, because Secret Service was crawling and we were eating dinner and Trump was eating dinner probably 20, 30 feet away from me, and they had him, velvet roped off. I did not want to be that guy to go up and fanboy. But it was cool. I ate dinner not too far away from Trump, got a birthday cake from the Mar-a-Lago staff. I don't know who, we didn't pay for it. I don't know who brought that out or who told them, but got a birthday cake at Mar-a-Lago, saw Trump's announcement. I think Fox News got a shot of the crowd and you could see me in it. So yeah, that's a birthday I'll never forget. Mar-a-Lago. And then Badlands Media, still work with them. A friend of mine, John, started his company called Badlands Media in 2022. And it's basically like a streaming platform where there's 15 of us contributors, maybe 20, but podcasts all day long. Different shows on different days, based primarily on Rumble. But you can find Badlands Media on Twitter, now on YouTube, other places. But we've been growing it, man. Badlands Media is an awesome little media company that a bunch of us contribute to and work on. And then in 2023, Badlands Media started doing events around the country. Every 3 months, we hold an event called the Great American Restoration Tour, GART. And we just go to different areas around the country. The last one we did was in Deadwood, South Dakota. Every year in August, we go to Deadwood. Sometime in August. I think next year we're going in June. We've done them in Dallas, Texas, and Arizona, Irvine, Southern California, Myrtle Beach, Boston. Next one is going to be in like 3 weeks in Cocoa Beach, Florida. So that should be cool. Go check out the GARTs. Go check out Badlands Media. If you've never heard of Badlands Media, if you're just unfamiliar of everything I've been doing over the past few years and this is new to you, go check out Badlands. It's cool. I'll leave a link in the description below and leave a link to the GARTs. You can watch the GARTs online too. We get about 300 people that attend each one, depending on where it's at, 250 to 300. And they're a great time, man. So I go speak at these every 3 months. Pretty fun. I moved out of Commie, Washington to Idaho. I still spend some time in Washington. And then in 2024, I really started going into Maha stuff because RFK Jr. was, well, at that time he was presidential campaign. Then he ended up joining forces with Trump. But since Maha was getting real big, I started putting a lot of energy into the Conscious Strength brand. And I started that brand when I had the YouTube channel back then. So you might remember I had that health brand I was starting, Conscious Strength, way back when. But about a year ago, I started putting a lot more energy into it. So every Friday on Badlands Media, my show is called Maha News. That's the show I do on Badlands Media. Maha News on Fridays. And then you can find my Conscious Strength. I have channels for it, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Website is consciousstrength.net. I've got a lot of new products on there if you haven't seen it or heard about it in 5 years. I've got collagen, methylene blue, electrolytes, really good greens powder. Prices are typically better than a lot of the other expensive online brands, and I make sure the quality is damn good. So that's one way you can support me, is buying some products from Conscious Strength. And I've been doing a lot of stuff with it too. I have a private health coaching group, and I've been doing a lot in the Maha realm. So that's kind of what I've been doing and how my beliefs have changed. With Q, I still think Q's legit for sure, the posts and the operation itself, but a lot of what's decoded or claimed by influencers on the internet, I think are largely full of shit. You just have a lot of scammers out there that want to hop on the bandwagon and make content for whatever reason, money, fame, who knows. And then in terms of the whole UFO kind of new agey movement, I explained that, right? Still very much an interest to me. And, but yeah, this is just so much scamminess online. It's unfortunate. And I think the Maha movement is doing awesome. I think RFK Jr. is doing a kick-ass job. In terms of the political atmosphere, there's still a lot of brainwashing going on. We still have a lot of work to do all over the board, but things are picking up. They're moving faster and faster. I mean, us being able to get onto these bigger platforms, reach a new audience, things are escalating. They're always escalating, but we have so much further to go, not just with waking up society, but then getting our hands dirty and actually making and changing things, which is, it's not pessimistic. It's kind of exciting. Just depends on how you look at it. But it's exciting because we still have so much further to go, which means, it's never too late to get your hands dirty and start your own podcast or whatever the case. Start trying to wake friends and family up. But yeah, in terms of the brainwashing, just all the division, right? A lot of religious division going on out there right now, but political division as well, and division all over the place. And arrogance and ignorance are never a good combo, but it seems like so many people in our world operate with that combination, which is not a good thing. So we'll see where we go from here. We'll see what I make videos on. I appreciate you guys still being here. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Go check the description below for links to Badlands and Conscious Strength and projects and platforms and things like that. And that's all, folks.